Hello and welcome back to the show. As always, I'm your driver Spencer. Sitting shotgun is Breck, and this week we're the podcast asking the important questions. Like, are crossroads really that dangerous? Is demonic viruses worse than anything known to man? And is the demon phone call system really even sanitary? This is Be Afraid of the Dark.
I mean, crossroads are scary anyways. Crossroads turning left.
Crossroads are very scary. It's very nerve-wracking. It's very dangerous. But you know what you got to do? Just survive.
Bones everywhere.
Bones everywhere.
Blinzes.
All right. 2 fun episodes. Two good episodes.
Two fun. One that I had. Actually, no, that's a lie. 2 of these I had pretty vivid memories of, but Crossroad Blues kind of only came back to me once we started watching it.
Yeah.
Croatoan, however, we're loaded. We're locked and loaded.
All right, so Season 2, Episode 8, Crossroad Blues, written by Sarah Gamble, directed by Steve Boyum, who I believe is the first-time director for the show.
Fun.
I don't think we've had him before.
Sarah Gamble's written episodes before, yeah?
Yes. She's been on since Season 1.
Yes.
Her and Rael Tucker are like story doctors on it. They head the writer's room with Kripke.
Sick.
Yeah, so... this is our first time we get, it's Crossroad Blues. It's demon deals.
Yeah, it's our first time seeing demon deals that aren't John giving up his life for Dean.
Yeah, so this episode starts in like 1938. 1938.
I love Sinners.
I love Sinners. I mean, straight up.
It's straight up.
It is, yeah, it's in a like an old blues joint. And, yeah.
And it's the Robert Johnson blues legend performing, which is really fun.
So he is performing in this little joint, and then he hears dogs barking outside, and he gets really nervous, and then he just bursts out. It's our first really huge flashback to open, right?
It is, yeah. It's our first like actual... like historical scene, I think, that's not just like in the past of the Winchesters.
It's like the closest we got is some of like the flashes around the cult being made, but that's...
Yeah, it's our first like historical scare, which is really fun. And there's also a really great shot of when the cigarette falls out of his mouth and hits the ground. Oh boy, smoking is so cool.
Yeah, so he rushes out, runs away, gets into another home, gets inside and locks the door, and the dog sounds are still going off. We don't quite know what they are yet. That is revealed later as kind of a misdirect thing. And bang, bang, bang on the door, and he has like a heart attack.
Yeah.
And when the door finally bursts open, it's people that know him rush in, and he's like seizing, and they're like, what happened? Get a doctor, whatever. And he went, dogs, big black dogs. And then we cut to the title card and into the rest of the episode.
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty good
cold open. It is super fun.
It's a cool one.
There's a very distinct vibe about it that's different from the rest of the episode. Like, but this and then the later flashback scene are both very, like they have more of a filter on, not a filter, but they feel like they're smokier.
Yeah, smokier is a good way to put it. Yeah. Okay, so they're Sam and Dean in a diner where they often find themselves.
It's much cleaner than they usually look.
It is a much cleaner diner than they are usually in, and they are talking about how the fact that Dean is on a wanted list. There's a warrant out for his arrest in St. Louis.
Yes. And
I will never keep that straight. In St. Louis, and everything is harder, and Sam's upset, and he's like, well, Dean's like, well, what do they have on you? And Sam's like, maybe they just haven't posted it yet. And I just think it's the most brotherly thing to be upset that the other one is getting any attention, right? And so he's mad his brother's on the FBI's wanted list.
And Dean also has like a funny line. He goes, dude, I'm like Dillinger.
Yeah, which is hysterical.
Dean is having the time of his life being a wanted man.
He thinks it's so funny.
I'm wanted.
Yeah, and Sam does not want it.
No.
At all. Or Sam wants it, but he doesn't, you know what I mean?
So
they don't want him at all is what I meant to say.
Yeah, it's so funny. You're like, why are you mad about
hysterical.
this?
So then Dean, of course, asks, what do we have in the case, or in the case department? Sam kind of finds something. They go on their way. Someone died.
In Chicago, they say?
I think so.
Something like that?
It's something like that. We should really start taking note of the cities and keep track of how many take place in each city. Anyway. We flash into someone has died, and they had like a heart attack, and they were talking about dogs. They were muttering about dogs. They don't know what's going on.
Yeah, this guy, or no, their original case, he jumped off the top of the high rise that he designed, and we're like, oh, he's a famous architect, and he kept complaining that there were like dogs at his door, and they were like, how did these dogs get up past like his fancy ass security and everything? And,
yes. Yeah. So they go, and this is a first. They're starting to get creative with the alibis. They're talking to his business partner as journalists from Architectural Digest.
It was so funny.
Hysterical.
Also, fun fact, Jensen and his wife, Danielle, their house has been featured on the cover of Architectural Digest, and they did a deep dive into their house once. So
there's a video of that. It's very fun.
It's a beautiful house. Great taste.
If you ever want to like have a time where you feel weird about everything, watch someone walk through a rich person's house.
Oh, yeah.
It's super weird.
It's super weird. And then there are also sometimes you're like, damn, you're right about that.
It's like, damn, architecture is really cool, but this is making me feel a little weird. Like it's an odd thing. Anyway, they start talking, and I wrote down a note, and I can't remember why this came up. Dean doesn't know what MySpace is. What were they talking about to set this up?
They were talking about this. So before they were talking to his like old business partner who's like, and like 10 years ago he couldn't even design a pup tent, and then one day like he did all this, and he
literally
incredible
overnight.
Overnight. He used to be a bartender at a place called Lloyd's, which will come back up.
Yes, thank you.
So and they're talking about, and he also gets off one of my favorite lines of the episode, which is true geniuses seem to die young, don't they? Which kind of lends this like inner universe like context of like, oh, maybe a lot more people have made demon deals than we thought.
Yeah.
But after that, they go to the police to kind of confirm this guy's claims of like, oh yeah, he was like, the deceased was complaining all the time about dogs.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. He walks out and he gets all the reports of complaints about dogs. They point out a specific.
Yes. And then the clerk was like, and he's like, and she gave me this. Sam's like, her MySpace address, and Dean goes, MySpace, what the hell is that?
Yeah. With complete genuine, like he has no idea.
And now it's come back around that there are kids probably who are like, MySpace, what the hell is that?
It is funny if you show that to somebody like, honestly, even like 3 or 4 years younger than us, they'd be like, what's MySpace?
What's MySpace? And you're like, we need MySpace back, guys. We need a fun website back.
Okay.
Think about it. No one wants to be on Twitter anymore.
That's true.
It's true. But yes, so they find out that there are other people who have been complaining, about increasing calls about, I'm being stalked by big black dogs. He shows them all
this happens somewhere, but he shows them all the like research he's done, the printouts he has, and it's like a giant black dog, and he's like, he says the lore is kind of all over the place because they still don't quite know what they're hunting.
Yeah, and they could be like death omens or other thing. Like they could be. It's the same when we were talking about zombies, where it's like there's so much lore that they don't even really know where to start.
Yeah, so it could be a death omen. Dean makes a joke about how big the dog is. They get on the trail of a doctor who's since gone missing. They're talking to her maid. And the maid's like, oh, she left. It's not like her or whatever. It's not like her. And then she's like, they asked her did you ever see any of these dogs? And she's like, no, but she's not someone to like lie about things.
Yeah.
And they find out that she became the head surgeon at this hospital.
Yeah.
Very prestigious position. And she's only like 42.
Yeah.
And they said she started like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And so they're like, okay, 10 years. They grab a photo off the wall of her and some friends. They flip it over and it says Lloyd's Bar.
Yeah.
The mystery is unfolding.
We're on the case.
Yeah. So they decide they need to go check that out. While they're going to do that, correct me if I'm wrong, do they figure out what it is now, or do we find the Crossroads first?
They find the Crossroads first. So right after they've decided, they figured out, she went to Lloyd's, we get a cut to a really creepy scene with the doctor herself.
Yes.
In the motel room that I find really spooky, of like they're circling her. They're circling her, like she can hear them, like she's really freaked out. She's bang 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 on her door, and she's like, oh, okay.
She opens it. It's the guy. It's essentially
like,
the manager.
Pay? Like,
and she's like, yes. And so she grabs money and she hands it to him, and then she looks up at his face, and it like goes pale and gray and like contorts The Ring.
Yes.
This first one works a lot for me. The second one doesn't work as much. It's a little more jarring. This one's like really creepy, like a genuinely good scare.
That one really scared me, and it reminds me a lot too of the bent neck lady from Hill House, of like like creepy, like goes great, like distended, like they start twitching, and so we also get this kind of like they're not just physically circling like the person, they're also kind of psychologically
they're invading their mind. Yeah. So then we get to the Crossroads at Lloyd's Bar. And they look down and they're like, wait, and they kind of see these flowers set up and they're like, these had to be planted,
yarrow,
right?
Yes.
Yeah, which I love the idea that, and then they find right in the dead center of it, they dig up a little tin and it's got bones and a photo of someone and like some other spell work. And they point at, like, this is some serious spell work.
Yeah, he's specifically graveyard dirt and a black cat bone, which are both used in like real life hoodoo and voodoo practices. So it's a fun example of like they did their research too.
Yeah, so they found that is they figure out what it is. They go, this is Crossroads demon. This is somebody making deals.
Classic, baby.
And the deals generally are you get 10 years and they make your wish come true, whatever it may be, essentially. This upsets Dean.
Yes.
Dean's essentially like, why are we going to go help them? They made their deal. He's very
he has a lot of turmoil this episode.
Yes.
And we get another
I really like, this is a smart avenue into Dean, because like every episode that they've gone into this, it's been essentially the same thing. This is a really good one to like advance it a little bit.
Yes.
This one and the next one are two really good ones to do that.
And they finally confirm too that these aren't just like regular black dogs; they're hellhounds, and they're coming. And I love Sam's like demonic pit bulls.
Yeah, which by the way, I love pit bulls. They're such sweet little doggies.
Justice for pitties, okay? Because he also describes. I remember this because he also describes the shadow creature from Nightmare that Meg controls as a demonic pit bull as well.
Yeah,
which I think is funny that there's multiple.
He just has an issue with pit bulls, dude.
Why is there not like what about the demonic like shepherds?
Yeah.
What about a demonic Dalmatian?
Shih
Demonic
Tzus.
Dalmatian is actually my polka punk cover.
Yeah,
band?
I love it. Anyway, so then we get our first like proper kill of the episode, which is back to the surgeon. She thinks they're going to come through the door. She turns around and boom, something invisible blows the window up in a really cool big effect.
Very cool.
She gets knocked back and like screams and is looking at something that the camera can't see. And then all of a sudden her pant leg gets like ripped and like claw mark ripped.
It's one of my favorite effects. And I mentioned this too when you were watching it, but it's one of my favorite ongoing effects in this show is what it looks like when the hellhounds come to take people.
Yeah.
Because I love the claw marks. I love not being able to see them. I love hearing them.
Yes.
Like it's that old thing of like, oh, there's nothing scarier than the thing you can't see. But it works really well for me.
So then bloody claw mark, she gets dragged away and she's killed. They were unable to save her. Then we get our next flashback back to like
1930.
So before what was his name again?
Robert Johnson.
Robert Johnson is again. This is him making his Crossroads deal, and this beautiful woman in like a perfectly hemmed white dress, very ethereal almost. Yes. And he looks at her and he goes, "Holy," and she goes, and I love her line. She goes, "Holy, think again."
Yeah.
And her eyes turn red, which I think is cool.
Yeah, she's not like, she doesn't have a regular demon black eyes of possession.
So she's like more under the classification of the yellow-eyed demon, where there's either a specific level of strength or a specific job. And I can't remember if the Crossroad demons in later seasons have red eyes or not. I think for a while they do, and then they stop doing it. But they also kind of don't do a lot of Crossroads after a certain point.
Yes.
So anyway.
And we forgot to mention, too, that earlier when they figure out, it's a crossroad and people are making deals, that Dean himself brings up, like, Robert Johnson, and Sam is like, the Robert Johnson legend? And Dean's like, what?
Oh,
no, it's real. It really happened. Like, why do you think he had so many, why do you think he had so many? He had a song called Crossroad Blues. He had a song called Hellhounds on My Trail. Like,
he explained that he died, muttering about
choking on it. He goes choking on his own blood, muttering about big black dogs.
Yeah, so, which is, again, it's fun when Supernatural takes like real kind of folklore-y legend stuff and turns it into like an actual case.
Yeah. This one's a little less iffy to me than our Hell House or our H.H. Holmes episode.
The H.H. Holmes one, it rides that line of like exploitativeness. That this one I think rides the line of like, okay, what if that was true?
What if this like famous urban legend is true?
Yeah,
which is I think is fun. It's cool.
Yeah, so and then again, we get that flashback. We come back to they have also important enough they have to kiss to seal the deal. Like that's a thing Supernatural does.
Of course, the demons are like, come give me a kiss.
Yeah, so we move on. The Dean is talking about, this is where Dean's really gets into why should we save them? They made their own bed. He's like, just because they made a deal, it's like and Sam's very much not that. But I think Dean. We explored in this episode quite a bit. Dean has a very strong sense of justice. Obviously, something else is going on here. In a normal situation, he probably wouldn't be this hard about like, we're just leaving. Who cares? They made their own bed. But he's got a very strong sense of justice. He doesn't want to help. And he doesn't think he should because these people did it to themselves.
And Sam is very like, well, we can still try. And like, blah, blah, like, so it's clear again. welcome back to Dean self-loathing the show.
Yeah, very true. Well, okay, so then the next thing that happens, they go, okay, we need to find the next guy, the most recent guy. Maybe not the most recent guy, but the guy who's put this here to summon the demon. And they have the photo that they found in the tin, which is how they summon him. And they go looking for him. They find him, and when they get there, they look down, and there's like a black, powdery line, grainy line across the door. And they're like, what's this, pepper?
Yeah.
And the guy rips the door open, he's like, what do you want? And they're essentially like, you got the wrong shaker there, friend. It's usually if you want to keep something evil out,
you use salt.
Use salt. And he kind of like throws it in their face.
And he's like, you don't know what goofer dust is?
Yeah,
I thought you guys knew something about something.
Yeah.
And it's really fun too because Dean is like the moment the guy's like, go away, Dean's like, cool, sounds good to me. And Sam's like, wait.
Yeah, well, Dean has this great line when they're talking about that. He's like, don't you all know anything? He's like, well, we know a little about a lot of things, just enough to make us dangerous.
Which is great.
Let me fix this in my journal. I actually wrote us.
Come on, dude.
Fixed it.
But I also love too that Sam's like, please just give us 5 minutes. And after he explains what goofer dust is, he goes, 4 minutes left.
Yeah. Which goofer dust is just a type of voodoo.
Or hoodoo specifically.
Hoodoo, thank
you. That they were specifically, and I looked it up and it has its own Wikipedia page, guys. Just so you know.
There you go. You can also look that up. But they essentially find out from him that he sold his soul for talent, specifically painting talent.
Yeah.
And he's like, look at me now. I'm still broke. I should have wished for fame, which is like so sad.
Yeah. Which it's very much like I said specifically in my notes, like, it's a monkey paw deal of like, I'm like one of the best painters that's ever lived, but no one knows.
Oh, but it's just if you do that. The other two got everything they wanted. They became massive architects and all these things. He just wished for talent. He just wanted to be talented because he believed that's all you needed.
Yeah.
And it's just not the case.
And he has this line too that I really like of sometimes a person makes their bed and they just gotta lie in it.
So he's accepted it. And also he points out, he's like, I summoned it for me. All of this is because of me. I didn't know it was going to stick around and make more deals.
Which is like really a creepy concept of like, he just wanted this for him. And he's like, I didn't know it would stick around. And it just kept talking to people for like a week. Yeah, it doesn't.
He feels all this guilt and Dean is looking at him like, kind of should. Anyway, he tells them, he's like, exactly what you said. He made his bed. He needs to lie in it. But he finds that there's one other person who made a deal. So he kind of tells him where to track him down. So we cut to him and his wife, and he's trying to usher his wife out.
Yeah, he's like, go visit your sister. You haven't seen her since she had the baby.
Clearly, he's upset and frantic. He's telling her how much he loves her, and she goes.
But before she does, she turns around and has this really like
the face contorty scare that just doesn't work as well for me.
But it's again very creepy. I don't know. I think with that still that stays with later depictions of hellhounds. But I had completely forgotten about that part, and it scared me both times.
Oh, the first time really spooked me. I was like, I forgot that happened.
Yeah.
She's gone. They knock. Sam and Dean show up. They knock on the door, and he opens it, and they essentially, you ever been to a bar called Lloyd's? And he slams the door and locks it. And he's like, we're not demons.
But you're like,
really
Dean.
Funny.
He's like, you have to lead with a little more information.
Yeah, and Sam's like, any other bright ideas? And so Dean kicks the door down.
Of course,
they rush in. This guy gets into his office and closes the door. And Dean goes to kick it, and Sam stops him and just opens the door.
It's so funny.
It's very
so indicative of those two.
Literally what I was going to say. It's so them that would be what happened.
Also, this guy, Evan, looks like Simon Pegg and Troy Baker had a baby.
Yeah.
In an incredible way where I was looking at the entire time like, wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So many guys on TV.
They just started mixing them. Anyway, so then we find out what he did, and he kind of says, they're like, what was the deal you made? And he's like, my wife. And Dean jumps straight to, get the girl, real original. And he went, she was dying.
Yeah, he's like, she was dying. We were about to move her into hospice.
Yeah, and so Dean kind of shuts up, and you think he's going to eat his humble pie a little bit. And nope, he doubles down. He's like, what gives you the... I don't think he says what gives you the right here, but he just essentially is like, you shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Sometimes something is supposed to be gone.
And he's like how do you think your wife would feel knowing that you died for her?
Right, and so clearly we figured out what this is about. He is...
Typical Dean projecting his problems onto everyone he tries to say.
Very true.
Love him so much. King of projecting instead of feeling.
Yeah, so Sam pulls Dean away. He goes, we're going to protect him. Yes, he does this. Does he? Whose idea is it?
It's Sam's idea for them
No, because
it's Dean's.
Because Dean says he's going to go.
Yes.
He's going to go summon the thing and try to exorcise it or save him. Because there's essentially no way to save them that they know of. So essentially then Sam and Dean step out in the hall after they've decided this, and Dean's like, I don't like where your head's at. I don't want you to go somewhere where you could make a dumb choice.
Yeah, Sam's like, I don't think you should go and be able to make a decision that could alter everything just because we're trying. Like,
yeah.
So basically
they kind of lay into each other about this, and he's like, don't make a deal. Don't make that deal.
Yeah, because Sam's like, I know what this is about, and Dean's like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And you're like,
so
because that excuse has worked for you so many times.
They split up. What was the gopher dust?
Goofer dust.
Gopher dust. I'm so dumb.
You're not dumb. Don't say that.
The goofer dust. Sam is putting it around the windows and doors, and he draws a circle around. What's his name?
Evan.
He draws a circle around Evan, and then we cut to Dean at the crossroads. I love this detail. He puts a torn up fake ID for like a park ranger or something like that. It's really funny.
What ID he did not need anymore.
Yeah. And he gets up and turns around, and now there's a white woman in a black dress there. It's just someone that's been possessed in the area.
It's very interesting to me too, of like the Crossroad demon shows you kind of the person you're most likely to be attracted to.
Yeah.
Which is a really fun, interesting, because like they're going to kiss you later.
Yeah, it's
like,
supposed to be seductive.
Yeah.
Dean doesn't know about the kiss yet.
No.
He's surprised by it. Anyway, they start talking, and they're like, I want to make a deal,
And she knows who he is. Which is
she's
really
like, Dean
like,
Winchester.
I know all about, and he's like, how do you, she gets off a line, but made me laugh. She's like, I get the newsletter.
Yeah.
And I know it's not a real newsletter, but the concept of Hell having emails is really funny to me, because of course
at a certain point, Hell probably does have emails based on who leads it for a stretch.
Just all email, baby, all the time.
Anyway, so they kind of talk about making a deal, and she brings up, I could bring your dad back, right? Like, I could do this, I could do that. Or no, she doesn't say that yet. But anyway, he's like, let's talk in my car, They wander off to the car. He opens the door. She looks down, and there's a devil's trap painted underneath it.
And she's like,
do you think I was born yesterday? And she starts walking. He's like, wait. And she turns around and starts taunting him.
Yeah.
She's like, I could have brought your dad back.
Yeah.
I could have done this. I could have, he's suffering and all this. I could trade your soul for his.
Yeah.
And then they kind of lead back to this like small water tower kind of thing.
And she has a line here too that I love, where I forget what exactly he says to prompt this, and she goes, "'Cause your misery is the whole point."
Yeah.
Like,
and she also confirms here that
John is in hell.
John's in hell because he made a deal with the yellow-eyed demon.
For Dean's life.
Which we obviously know, but now Dean knows it for a fact. He doesn't have to assume.
Yeah.
And during all this, we cut to Sam and Evan being attacked by the Hellhound. It's starting to and as soon as it starts, like, Sam can't hear it, obviously, as it's running around. And as soon as it starts busting against the door, Sam sees the door jiggle. And I love this. And I want to know if this was, like, planned, but he steps into the circle.
He's like, yeah, fuck that.
And it made me laugh so hard. It was like, that's hysterical.
And also the unexpected, like, I hadn't really thought about this until now, but how creepy is it to be able to see something move and not hear it?
Yeah.
Like, we're hearing the dogs, Evan's hearing the dogs, but
all Sam's hearing is like clattering doors.
Is like clattering doors and like seeing scratch marks on the floor and like the vent bursting open and everything. Very creepy.
So now while this is going on, we cut back to we get these really bad. Well, no, that's in a minute. We cut back to Dean and this demon, and they're on opposite sides of this like water tower thing. There's this great shot where she's like walks away and she's like, I could bring your family back. And that's the thing that makes Dean fold seemingly immediately. Mm-hmm. So he's like, wait. And he walks in and he's like, what can I have? And she's like, he'll live a long natural life.
The way he was meant to.
The way he was meant to. And he's like, and she's like, I'll give you 10 years. That's a lifetime.
Yeah.
Which, no, it's not.
No, it's not. Do you know how fast 10 years are?
Crazy. So this is, he steps closer and then she steps in and he's kind of like, but what's the joke he makes? He wants something else. Oh, he's like, but I want you to throw in a set of steak knives.
Yeah.
And she's like, funny. And then he looks up and she realizes, or she goes to walk away and she looks up and he's painted a devil's trap on the ceiling, which, by the way, they simplified it because they didn't want to paint that scorpion again.
Well, many such cases, of course.
Or it's a different symbol, I understand. But
I love that he had the contingency.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think he just assumed it wasn't going to work with the car.
Yeah. But it's so fun, especially because I also like to think that he's like, I hope she notices the car because I really don't want to mess up the Impala again.
I know, yeah.
With the exorcism and everything.
It's so funny. So yeah, she's now trapped. The Hellhounds bust in. There's this terrible CGI claw marks in the wood.
I love it.
It's bad.
I love it. I know it's bad. It's still fun.
The gopher dust goofer dust.
Goofer dust.
The goofer dust gets all like blown away, so they have to run down the hall, close themselves off in this door, and Sam's like in there trying to hold the door back.
Sam's like,
and he's shaking
oh my
back and
god,
forth.
okay, this is my evening.
And then Dean essentially goes, free him from his contract. She's like, no, I won't do that. I can't do that. And he's like, going once. She's like, I won't do it. He's like, fine. And he starts exercising her. And this really cool, she's like freaking out. She's like, wait. And she stops him. That's a really good little scene as Dean's like circling this, like, because it looks like she's in a literal cage, not just trapped by the thing. Very cool. Dean stops the exorcism. They make the deal.
Yeah.
He's like, what's this? They kiss. The deal is made. The hellhounds are called off. We see that. And he's like, what's that for? And he's like, that's how we seal the deal, whatever. And he goes, how can I trust you? And she's like, my word's my bond. Those are the rules. And she's like, are you going to let me go? And he's like, kind of, you can see he's about to, holding his like, what are they called? Crucifix on the little beads.
Yeah. Oh, the rosary.
He's holding his rosary. I don't know rosary. He's holding the rosary. And she's like, if you shuck on this, I'll claw my way out of hell. And the first thing I'm going to do is skin him. And you're like, whoa. Rough.
Damn.
Yeah. So then he jumps up, rips this thing off, walks out, and she's like, you should have taken the deal because the suffering he's going through in hell, John. And anyway, now we move on. They're driving. Sam and Dean are, Sam is essentially asking, he's like, did you consider making that deal? And Dean just doesn't say anything. Haunting ending to an episode of television.
It's genuinely the way in which you can tell how much Dean cannot live with himself at all at the moment. It has just zero peace.
We may be getting into that next episode.
Constant agony.
Very true.
It's just,
It's very sad. It's very sad. Again, haunting is the way to describe the ending of this, because he just kind of like looks away and then looks back at the road, and you see, I think Jared plays this moment beautifully, where he's just like looking at him, he just looks ahead and just shuts up, and it's like, oh, it's so good.
Rough car ride home.
And then we cut to credits, and that's our episode.
Yep. No kills for either of them.
No kills for any of the dude. The kill count's been so low.
Because we decided, Meg counted last season, but there will be no more exorcisms counting as a kill this season.
Is that what we decided?
I think we decided that. And if the court stenographer will read back.
If the court stenographer will read back.
Because she also does depossess of the girl that she's in. Or the woman that she's in.
Yeah, but she chooses that.
Yeah, so it's just, I forgot there wasn't even exorcism. But yeah, we did decide in our March Madness that we will not count exorcisms anymore because there's going to be too many and it's pointless.
That's fine. I agree with that. Okay, so anything we missed in this one before we jump into our best ofs? It's a pretty good episode.
No,
I like this one.
I remember this one very fondly, and it held up for the most part.
Good vibes in this
episode. Good vibes. Good southern, warm,
cool lore.
Vibes.
I like every time there's like a complicated lore system they introduce that continues.
For sure.
So it's a fun one. All right, best line. What's the best line of the episode for you?
Because your misery is the whole point.
That is and that's one of the things. She's so good at taunting Dean.
She's so mean. Yeah, love that catty
it's
bitch.
Really good. She plays that role very well.
I remember what I said. I said demons. Part of being a demon on the planet is that you have to serve. You just have to serve cunt the entire time, and it's impossible to not serve.
Very true.
It's true.
My favorite line is, well, we know a little about a lot of things, just enough to make us dangerous. I think it's really fun.
Great line.
Best kill.
I have the Dr. Death.
Yeah, Dr. Death.
Yeah,
the Dr. Death in the motel with like the practical
with the claw marks
pant leg getting shredded and claw marks stuff. It's very cool.
Very burned into my brain. So.
This again, good episode. That's a good kill. That's honestly maybe the best kill of the season thus far, potentially. Yeah. Potentially. We haven't had a lot of like super. Yeah.
The only one I can think of that I liked more was maybe Dean cutting off the vampire's head.
Cutting off the vampire's head's really good.
With the whatever. It's not a chainsaw, a buzzsaw, whatever that is.
Yeah.
You knew what I'm.
Like a little chop saw thing.
Spencer is constantly going, that's a blah, 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 blah about the guns or anything. And I'm like, sure, honey, that sounds great. He's like, see, Dean's using his different gun here. And I'm like,
well, because
sounds great.
The Sam and Dean pistols are iconic, and so it took a while for them to get the engraved ones, and I kept being like, "Where do they get them?" Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Never once noticed in her entire life what they're holding.
It's a silver gun with a. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The kill count remains at Sam 1, Dean 2. There's no movement there. Okay, fellas, get going. On to season 2, episode 9, Croatoan, written by John Shaban, directed by Robert Singer.
Banger.
Plot episode.
That's a producer writer and a producer director. Baby.
Good times. This episode opens with what is clearly a vision because it's kind of choppy. Dean is in some kind of medical facility. We're unsure of what, with a group of people we haven't met. We don't know where Sam is yet. And then it's flashing around. They're like, somebody's on the ground begging. He's like, no, it doesn't. It's not in me.
It's not in me.
They're like, the doctor in the room says, I can't. I have no way of knowing. This guy's like, you got to do it. Dean levels his gun. Bang, bang, bang. Flash again a little bit. Sam is on the ground, and they're like, it got in him. And he's like, looking up and he's scared. And then Sam wakes up. Dean walks in, and every time Sam wakes up from a vision, Dean walks in from somebody. Goes, what?
What happened? You're like, the same thing as always, Dean.
So then we move on. Okay, yeah. So they're in the car driving there.
Vintage GPS.
Vintage GPS is playing, and Sam's like, "Are you sure that?" Because there's 2 of these towns with the same name. He's like, "Are you sure this is it?" He's like, "Yes," because of XYZ. Remember some evidence.
Yeah. Dean's like, "Are you sure that it's the
Crater
one
Lake.
of the?" And Sam's like, "Yes," because they had a poster for Crater Lake, so they know they're going to Oregon.
Yeah. So they're on the way, and Dean's like, "And I just wasted somebody." Or I just, what did he say? He said something funny.
He always has some random ass word for it. I love the CW. It's like, who else says gank? Who says gank? Who says gank?
Anyway, he's like, "I'm sure I have a good reason." And Sam goes, "Are you? Yeah, maybe." He's like, "What? And so he doubts him in this like kind of like, "I'm worried about you" kind of way.
And I don't know, you're kind of violent lately in a way that upsets me.
I mean, he says it earlier. He's like, "On a hunt, you're downright scary." Is that coming up? Doesn't matter.
No, he said that in the in Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things episode.
Yeah. Yes. So good stuff. They
Go
get
back
there.
and watch our episode.
Yeah. They get there. They find an old timer, a pretty young old timer, but an old timer nonetheless.
Yes.
Who's like cleaning and setting up his fishing rod. And they walk up and they're like, "Hey, have you seen this guy?
Yeah.
The kid with a scar on his temple from Sam's vision." And he's like, "Why?" And he's like, "Oh, we're, U.S. Marshals. We're."
Oh, and the names they give are, I wrote it down, Billy Gibbons and Frank Beard, who I learned are 2 members of ZZ Top. So,
Sick.
As usual, Dean is giving out musical aliases.
Yeah, so super funny. The guy kind of doesn't want to give him anything, and he sees his tattoo. It's like a military tattoo. He's like, "Oh yeah, my dad was in the service," and he gives him his like company company name, so just prove it essentially. And this guy goes, "He's not in any trouble." He's like, "Well, no, just not yet. We just have to ask him about somebody else."
Yeah.
He tells him where the family lives. Sam and Dean go on their way. They knock on the door. Like a teenager opens the door.
Yeah, the brother opens the door.
Yeah, the brother of this guy opens the door.
Oh, wait. On their way there, though, they run into a lamppost that has the word Croatoan etched on it.
Yep.
History corner!
And you can quickly explain.
History corner! So Roanoke, and Sam discusses this with Dean, who kind of remembers it, but Roanoke was considered a lost colony. It was one of the first U.S. colonies back in the day. And the story goes that they disappeared without a trace. They were having a tough winter, and then when the supplies came back, they found nobody in the camp and just the word Croatoan etched on a tree. I would love to point out that the neighboring Native American tribe later had blonde-haired, blue-eyed babies. So it's historians are now, it's pretty obvious that like they were just taken in by the Native Americans there and shown mercy and were like, "Okay, we're just going to live together." And just no one bothered to go check. Yeah. Because they were like, "Well, the Native Americans don't have nothing to do with it anyway."
So it's a big mystery, but it's not a mystery. Anyway,
yes.
Sam is like, didn't you pay attention in history class? And Dean's like, "Yeah, Bill becomes a law."
Yeah.
He's like, "That's not school. That's School of Rock."
He's Schoolhouse Rock.
Schoolhouse Rock, yeah. School of Rock.
Funny. I am a Bill on Capitol Hill.
Yeah, so very funny. Another fun thing to use like real world events and things that have happened. This one is very cool because it's like this old ancient kind of thing.
It's a very old creepy mystery, and so they're like, "Oh my god, this town's marked for death," and they find out that their cell phones aren't working.
Yep.
And the payphone is. Remember payphones? I didn't even realize that. I didn't even mark that down as old technology, but they do go up to a payphone and there's no signal.
And Dean points out, he's like, if you were going to massacre a town, because that's what they think is going to happen because of the Croatoan connection. If you're going to massacre a town, that would be the first step, is cut off communications.
Spooky.
They get to the house. They knock on the door.
Sorry, this is the stupidest note I have. Born to fish, forced to work.
Yeah, very real.
It's the stupidest
on the family's house. They knock. Teenager opens. They ask, "Hey, is your brother here?" He's like, "No, he's on a fishing trip." They're like, "Are you folks home?" He's like, "Yeah, they're over here." The dad walks up and he goes, "Oh, my wife's not here right now." And they go, "What?" And they close the door. And Dean says, "Little Stepford," love this, like as a setup for a thing where it's like clearly something is wrong with multiple entities. Mm-hmm. So they sneak around and they see.
No, they sneak around and look through the windows of the house.
So they sneak around, look through the windows of the house, and the mom is tied to a chair.
Gagged.
And they're gagged. They're cutting her and then cutting their hand and like placing it on her.
So
on
creepy.
The wound, like getting the blood in the blood. They break in. Dean rushes in. They're both holding guns, and the dad charges, and Dean blast.
Yeah.
Dean shoots him 3 times. The son like rushes out, jumps through a window. Sam runs to the window, holds the gun out. There's like a showdown moment where they look at each other and the kid runs away. Dean is pissed by this and Sam's like, I didn't want to kill a kid.
I didn't want to do that.
So sorry about that.
Dean gets his first kill of the episode. So
now it is Dean 2, Dean 1 second. This is why I keep notes. I can't remember. We haven't had to update this board in a while.
Yeah, because they're slacking.
This is Sam 1, Dean 3.
Sam. But yeah, so and then they have to like take the mom to the local doctor. I'm obsessed with this town, by the way, that like the doctor is like on Main Street.
Yeah.
It's kind of it's no rhyme or reason to how this town is laid out. But yeah.
So Sam walks in with the mom and she's like, she's been attacked. Mm-hmm. They pass her off. The doctor immediately knows who it is. It's a small town. And then Dean comes walking in with a body wrapped in a blanket over his shoulder. And she's like, what the and he's like, oh, we're marshals. I would show you my badge, but
anyways, this is the guy. So
yeah.
Here the doctor also mentions like they're discussing all of this and everything, and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to get down to Sidewinder to like talk about it." And that's a Shining reference. That's actually really fun. And I also found out from TV tropes that she also mentions, it's 40 miles to Sidewinder, which is also it's 40 miles from Sidewinder, Colorado, in the book to the Shining Hotel.
So and because none of the phones are working,
yes,
Dean goes to the nearest town, which is like 40 miles away. So he leaves. Sam stays. Dean is driving, and in the hospital she's doing blood work on the dead body.
Yes.
And she's like, this is weird. This, part of his, there's a blood count thing that's high. And then she goes, also there's sulfur in his blood.
Yeah, lymphocytes. Yeah, she's like, his body was fighting off an infection.
Yes, and then they find sulfur in the blood.
And Sam's like, right.
That's not good.
She's like, if I didn't know any better, I would say it was sulfur. And Sam's like, right.
Yeah, then we cut to Dean stopping, getting out, finding this shot up car with blood all over the seats. He gets back and he keeps driving. And he stops, and there's a roadblock with a bunch of just citizens holding guns, and the kid from earlier standing right in the middle of them with a shotgun. And a guy jump scares him on the side of the car and is like, "Hey, would you mind getting out for a minute?" And he's like, "I'm sure you would like that." And he
makes a joke about the guy not being his type.
Yeah. Then he just hauls ass backwards and grabs the guy and like flips the Impala, like spins it around and flings the guy off in a really cool stunt.
So awesome.
I
love Dean's Carfu.
Yeah, Dean's Carfu. He's very John Wick in that way.
Many such cases.
He leaps into action.
And then we cut back to the doctor's office, and they're talking to Beverly about how, hey, so your husband's dead, and he maybe was ill. I mean, she knows he was dead. Yeah. They're like, so we're trying to figure out, like, he was sick, like something was going on. And then out of the blue, she goes nuts.
Yeah, she knocks the doctor away, and she like flings Sam across the room.
As usual, Sam's
getting flung. They're able to subdue her. Somebody knocks her out.
Sam knocks her out.
And then we cut to Dean slamming on his brakes, stopping, in the jarhead from earlier. Our old timer has a gun pointed at the car. He's like, "Get out of the car!"
He's like, "No, you get it. No, you."
Yeah, he gets out and they like pulls the gun and they just are, "You drop your weapon. No, you drop your weapon." It's super funny.
Are you one of them? No. Are you? No. How do I know? I don't know. Yeah. Like, it's so fun. I love their exchange.
He's like, "What happened?" He's like, "My neighbor, Mr. Rogers, just started attacking me." And he's like, "You have a neighbor, Mr. Rogers?" He's like, "Not anymore." So funny.
So funny.
So then they get in the car and the jarhead's holding the gun on him because he still doesn't trust him. And he's just like, this is going to be a real comfortable ride. He keeps driving. They get there and they all fill each other in on what's happened.
Yeah, the best is one of the younger like nurse to the doctor is like trying to leave, and Sam's like, "No, like my partner's gone to get help." And then you hear the Impala pull up outside, and again I just love that the Impala is fully identifiable by noise alone. Yeah, just makes me happy.
Yeah. So that. The idea of demonic germ warfare is really cool.
Super spooky.
So clearly the demons are doing something in this town, spreading this demon virus.
Yes.
We're kind of...
Oh, and then we get... we looked in Dad's journal because fucking of course John did something else and was like, I think maybe.
Yeah.
Like, except John.
He always had a theory about the idea of Croatoan.
Yes. So
this one's more justifiable.
Yes. This one is more justifiable, not John scrapbooking for later.
Yeah.
But he mentions John thought Croatoan was the name of a plague demon.
Yeah.
So we get kind of a hint
which is cool. But they also tell Dean and this jarhead that, the jarhead goes in she's like, can you check him out? He sees when he calls them in. Beverly is in the like closet and he's like, they're strong. He's like, eventually she's gonna bust her way out of there. So Dean goes in and he like points the gun at her and they're like, he looks at Sam and he's like, "Are you absolutely sure?" And Sam just nods and he shoots her 3 times. So Dean gets another kill this episode.
Number 2.
So it is now Sam 1, Dean 4.
boy, it's not looking good. But yeah,
which by the way, this is such a dark moment. It's so sad. Dean's just ready and willing to do it,
and it's so creepy that she's like, "No, you've known me your whole life," like, blah, blah, blah. Like, and so they're not just like zombies that are mindless, like violence machines. Like, they still have memories. It's also funny because at this point they're not using their fake names for each other anymore. They're just calling each other Sam and Dean. I'm like, didn't you tell them Marshall? But
they're still pretending to be Marshall, so they have some level of authority.
But also, and then right after that, we get another creepy moment of like they're looking out the windows and all the infected are circling the building, like watching them. Yeah, so creepy with like the light and the.
Well, and then they're just like, we're not going anywhere. Yeah, and then they go, unless you guys have some explosives. Well, because they've gotten everything out of the Impala, and they're like, even with all the firepower y'all have, we're not going anywhere. And then they go, unless you guys have some explosives. And Sam goes, or we can make a bomb. And he looks at all the chemicals, and so then Sam and Dean are in there making bombs, and normal. Yeah, and
that's Tuesday. Oh, and then Dwayne shows up. Yeah. So Dwayne shows up, which is the guy they were looking for the whole time. And he's played by, if you watch The Blacklist, he's like the FBI, Mr. FBI agent man in The Blacklist. Which is funny because he looks like a shithead little teenager in this.
Well, it's because The Blacklist didn't come out for another 7 years.
Well, there you go.
So Dean, he's like, I'm just looking for my family, and they mention Beverly, and they realize it's him. And then Dean literally looks at him and goes, awkward, like that. And you're like, Dean, do you have no remorse for having to kill two people? You
killed that guy. Yeah. You killed both of these people.
So then they they get him. They're trying to decide if they should kill him because they don't know if he's infected or not. And Sam and Dean end up. Dean can't do it. Yeah. And they have
they have this conversation.
They have this conversation, and Dean's like, "I got to go kill him. I have to do it." And he's like, He's like, you think this job is hard? Yeah. He's like, sometimes you just have to do the thing. And Dean or Sam says, it's supposed to be tough, Dean. We're supposed to struggle with this. That's the whole point. I love that. Dean did not learn his lesson from
Gordon.
From Gordon.
No, because it's this other like beautiful thing. So we've like established at this point, like Dwayne showed up, he's bleeding. They don't know if he's lying or not about like anything.
It's panicky. I understand the situation.
It's panic. Yeah. And then also the doctors kind of established like, oh, like we can't tell for about 3 hours, like that it's incubated in the blood at all.
So there's no way to tell yet.
Yeah. And no one wants to take the chance of like, oh, he could Hulk out and kill everybody.
Dean's just ready to kill him, but he can't do it. He literally holding him at gunpoint, can't pull the trigger.
After locking Sam in the room.
Yeah, and so they've had literally locked him in the room. They go back to doing what they're doing, making bombs. Sam goes to get more alcohol. And Pam, I don't remember names. Pam walks in after him, which she's like the tech. And Sam turns around and he's like, they have a brief conversation. She's like, I've been waiting to do this the whole time. And she hits him.
And you're like, whoa.
Yeah, she draws blood. She cuts herself. She gets down and she gets Sam. She bleeds on him. And Dean bursts in and just ices her. Like bang, 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 kills her immediately. She shoots her in the back. She falls off. So now it's Sam 1, Dean 5.
Samuel.
There's no coming back, Samuel.
You're upsetting me.
Dean is like straight up wrathful in this episode.
Dean is like Dean is clearly cutting off some steam. Not cutting loose. Yeah. Blowing off some steam. Cutting off some steam from blowing loose. You know how it is. And then this part of the episode is like,
it's tough.
It's tough.
Anyway, so that happens. They're all the other people are like, we just need to kill Sam.
And Dean's like, I straight up will kill all of you.
Yeah, he's like, if you even think about it, I think he says something along the lines of, you'll be dead before you hit the floor.
Yeah, and you're like, whoa.
So they're like, so what do you want us to do? And so he literally tosses them the Impala keys.
And you're like,
this is serious. He thinks they're both gonna die. He's like, just go, get as far as you can, try to warn somebody about what's coming. And Sam's like telling him, give me the gun. I will do this myself. Yeah. He's like, I can't turn into one of those things.
He go the line delivery on, give me my gun and leave. Yeah. Like it's so, and like you can tell that Dean is like, I have zero intention of living in a world without my dad and Sam. Yeah. Zero intention.
I already lost one of them. I'm not losing you.
Like, so this like Dean being so like, I'm just not going to live without you, and that's just how it's like going to be. Yeah. Like I will kill you and then myself if it has to happen.
Sam's like pleading with the other people with his eyes to do it, and the jarhead's just like, all right. So they walk out, and Dean pulls out his gun and he just sits across from him, and he's like,
wish we had some cards or something at a foosball table.
Trying to blow this thing, and Sam's like, just go. Like, you have to keep doing this. And Dean essentially is like, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the job. I'm tired of this life.
I'm tired, Sam. I'm tired of this job, this life, this weight on my shoulders. And you're like, oh, God.
Yeah, it's genuinely one of the most heartbreaking things thus far in the show.
And it's like, we knew on a certain level that Dean was not happy with his life.
Yeah.
And he'd made comments in the past couple episodes of like, oh, like, I like my job because I'm a little twisted, but I like wish I could have been something else.
Yeah.
Like, in the last
Dean wishes
like,
he could dip in and out, but you can't.
No, you can't. Like he clearly was like, oh, I wanted to be a firefighter.
Yeah.
Like, anyways.
So then they have this conversation and they both kind of resign themselves to it. And the doctor rushes back and like, there's something both of you need to see.
Yeah.
They rush out and the entire town is gone.
Left.
Everyone has just vanished. It's completely
freaky.
Calm. They don't know what's going on. They're all, I don't know if excited is the right thing, but then they go back in and we flash forward like 5 hours and the doctor's like, 5 hours, your blood's still good. Sam's relieved and he's like, why? And then they check the other blood samples and all of the sulfur has left all of the blood samples they took.
So creepy. Like this
very
creepy,
scary.
Like and we find out kind of by the end of the episode, like this was specifically planned so that it was just a mystery, so that it was just a freaky mystery that no one could solve.
Yeah. So yeah, they all decide to kind of go their separate ways. She's got to go down and tell the authorities what happened. And then this is where Dean's like, oh, we're not really marshals.
And she's like,
oh,
okay.
And then they want Jarhead and what's his name?
And Dwayne
Dwayne leave. Sam and Dean leave.
And Dean gets off another line before they leave when they're getting in the car too, where they're already complaining about the case. And Dean goes, I'm already starting to feel like this is the one that got away.
Yeah, he's upset because something doesn't feel right.
And then Sam's like, and why am I immune? And Dean goes, yeah, why? Like he's like,
that's a good point, brother.
Like it made me giggle because he was like, yeah, that's another thing I'm upset about actually.
It is very good stuff. So that happens. We go with Dwayne and Jarhead, and Dwayne's like, hey, can you pull over up here? And we're just like, well, there it is.
Like, yeah.
He doesn't get out of the car, and he's like, literally pulls out this knife and slits the Jarhead's throat.
And he gets off the same line that Meg did of like, I need to make a call. And Sarge's like, but there's no cell service. And then slits Sarge's throat. And
then gets his demon bowl, fills it up, puts his little fingies in there. It kind of goes up, and he's like, no further testing is required. The Winchester boy's immune. And you're like, uh-oh. So they literally killed an entire town to test if Sam was strong enough to resist this. Crazy. The plot is thickening, guys.
The yellow-eyed demon, oh boy.
Yeah.
He is not just a...
Yeah.
And we already knew he wasn't a run-of-the-mill, like, whatever. Like, he was in charge of a lot of other demons. But this is, like, the first time I think we truly get a sense of the
scale
scope.
of it. Yeah. So that happens, and we cut to Sam and Dean. They're parked on the side of the road by the water.
By the water.
Literally, my note is literally a couple of models.
Literally, because they're literally posing. It's so funny. It's like, obviously they've parked by the side of the road to have this conversation about what's going on, but it just makes me giggle.
It's really so. Well, they're not even having a conversation. They're just talking and drinking a beer.
Yeah.
And
in the AM hours, by the way.
Yeah. And so Dean's like, Sam's like, we gotta talk about it. It's like you said this. And Dean just looks at him and goes, "Do you want to go to? Where does he say you want to go? You want to go to Vegas?
You want to go to the Grand Canyon?
The Grand Canyon, which is so. I don't know why I thought it was Vegas. I really love that he said the Grand Canyon because it's so wholesome.
It's like he's like, we've traveled all over this country and I've never seen the Grand Canyon. He's like, we could go to TJ, which stands for Tijuana. I learned in Mexico, and he's like, we could go to Hollywood, see if we could bang Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah, like he's just looking like for fun, for recreation, for a vacation.
Yeah, and you're like,
and Sam's like, well, we have to. He's like, why does it always have to be us?
Yeah.
Why can't we live a little? Like, And he's just exhausted, and Sam's like talking to me. He's like, "You're my brother, and I love you, and we're not."
And he's like, "You can't joke your way out of this one. We have to talk about whatever it is you're thinking about."
And then he looks at him and he goes, "Dad told me something before he died. Something about you." And we push in on Sam, and we push in on Dean, and we cut.
These fuckers.
Oh, dude.
Oh, I would have been
real
pissed.
Good shit.
I would have been pissed.
Yeah. We have to wait a week to 2 weeks for that.
Yes,
depending on when in the season.
I think it's next episode. I think they pick back up next episode.
Yeah, well, the last episode, it's funny. Even on the Blu-ray, the last episode has like a coming soon kind of thing.
It was soon.
Yeah,
and it was very fun.
like a sizzle reel for the rest of the season. Doesn't matter. Anyway, we cut to black on that. That's our mystery for the week.
Dun,
so
dun,
good.
dun.
We obviously know what the mystery is,
yes.
but it is like one of those things where you're like, I gotta watch the next episode right now.
Literally, I was about to be like, what if we just screwed up the entire recording process we have going and watch the next episode?
Anything we missed?
No, just that this is kind of our most depressing episode yet, surprisingly, of just like finding out truly how miserable Dean is.
Yeah, it's sad. This is a good one. It's a good, weird, structured episode with a bunch of cool setups and payoffs and reversals. And it's a good one.
They're having fun with it for this couple stretch of episodes where they're just getting fun with the format and like having a good time figuring out what they want the show to be, like dipping into lore, dipping into more urban legends, more historical like legends and whatnot. So I've really enjoyed these last couple of episodes.
Good stuff.
Good television. Good television.
And I love that it ends on a cliffhanger that hopefully if our audience, anyone in the audience is watching along, we're watching 2 episodes a week, you have to wait a while to hear thoughts and discussion on it.
It's kind of fun, guys.
It's a fun way to do it. Okay, best line of the episode. What is it for you?
I'm gonna read it out for us. Actually, it's supposed to be tough, Dean. We're supposed to struggle with this. That's the whole point. Because I think that's just the perfect line. I think that perfectly sums up Sam's whole ethos.
That
at this
is
point.
My favorite line as well. That line is just genius and so good.
Because again, it's the ongoing kind of struggle of the season of Dean trying to not give in to his darker impulses and Sam kind of being his conscience, which I think
also
is
fun to note that was the last episode of so there was like a month off in between this and the next episode.
Damn, I would have been
because it came out December
mad.
7th 2006 and it started again January 11th 2007.
Oh, I would have been pissed.
That was their winter break. That's awesome. I love that. Anyway, best kill.
I have Sarge getting his throat slit.
Dwayne's throat slit is for me too. A refresher that Sam has 1, Dean has 5. It's maybe a nail in the coffin this season already.
We don't know. We're only halfway through.
2 good episodes, though. I really like these ones.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have 1 week. We're not going to make you wait the whole month. You have 1 week to watch the next 2 episodes.
How mean would that be?
Be amazing. You have 1 week to watch the next 2 episodes, which are episode 10, Hunted, and episode 11, Playthings. Episode 10 has the return of a character, which is going to be very exciting.
Who?
I guess you'll have to find out.
He's going to have to tell me off pod. We don't spoil things for you, too.
But between now and then, you know what you have to do? You got to get your journal. You got to watch some TV. You got to hit the road. But remember, you know what's out there. Be afraid of the dark.